Hello everybody, welcome back to the real HomeStory Cup. I have another best of 3 for you today. My name's RyQuiz. We got HeRoMaRinE versus ShoWTimE. To the front runners of the Group A of the real HomeStory Cup. And of course, since this is the real HomeStory Cup, we are still adhering to the drinking rules. As you can see now on your screen, I will be drinking... Yes, that's what I'll be drinking. It's another Liquor 43, another limited edition. I'm not sure what's different about this one. It may be a little bit more lemony than the normal one, but I don't know. I saved it for a special occasion, such as this one. I am sad to report that this cast, as well as the next one, I already cast before, because I have a busy weekend, but I didn't hit record. So, I am recasting these a day later, so I might be a little biased because I do know how the games will go a little bit. So ShoWTimE is scouting out HeRoMaRinE here, and I was a little surprised by this because HeRoMaRinE is usually pretty straight up. He's not the guy that is going to cheese you with like 2 racks next to your main. But he's definitely going to expand fast and then hit you with a hard timing. Now we do see a really fast second barracks coming out here from HeRoMaRinE, kind of signaling without a tech lab that he's just going to be massing up some Marines. And I'm not sure why. But just a bunch of Marines most likely, maybe more Reapers other than this first one. Now, if this first Reaper dies, we get a sip right away, boys and girls. Adept was chrono boosted out to make sure that this Reaper can't get much done. There is a Stargate underway that the Reaper would like to find. Now Reaper does get into the base and finds the Stargate. And even hits the Adept with his proximity charge. Do see a factory underway now for HeRoMaRinE, but no fast 3rd CC. Or rather, really fast second barrack. So this looks to be a 2-1-1. I'm expecting to see a starport relatively soon here. Reaper might actually die here. And it did die around 3 minutes. I feel like that's a sip, boys. That is an early death of the Reaper. Cheers. Drink up. Two Adepts. Doing a little pressure here. Adepts do 3-shot Marines and not 2-shot like they did when the Legacy of the Void was released. So we see this one Hellion that ShoWTimE saw as well, so he knows there's a factory. Oh, but the Hellion does get out. Adept sadly could barely not 2-shot, or, well, 4-shot that Hellion. Oh, the Adepts actually go in onto the Marines, and the Oracle's here as well, targeting down these light units. But whoa, that's a HeRoMaRinE from HeRoMaRinE. Damn, ShoWTimE just dove in with those Adepts and Oracle, and all of those units do bonus damage to light units. Where did that Hellion go? Hellion did give his life at some point. Maybe he got caught by the Oracle middle of the map. Robo underway for ShoWTimE, and a 3rd base. That's a pretty fast 3rd base, I feel like. Well, when you compare it to HeRoMaRinE, who still hasn't put down a 3rd base. We see 3rd racks underway, double medevac here, and stim underway, almost completed. So, as soon as these medevacs are out, I feel like HeRoMaRinE is going to move out. Although, maybe he waits for a couple tanks? I don't know. We do see an engineering bay as well. So maybe some upgrades on the horizon. or just for turrets. Actually lifting off this starport to give this reactor to the barracks. He really just wants to pump out as much bio as possible. Combat shield's underway. First tank is underway. And now the first drop of HeRoMaRinE actually landing in the main base of ShoWTimE. One Phoenix is out to deal with these medevacs once they have been repelled. But they haven't been repelled just yet. Guardian Shield comes down, giving a lot of armor, +2 armor to the units of ShoWTimE. And HeRoMaRinE has to retreat. Guardian Shield, really valuable spell so early in the game where there's no upgrades to speak of. So it's basically as if you have +2 armor or shields. And now you would really like to have a Phoenix to scout this out. The drop is looping back around. Still no third base for HeRoMaRinE. And the drop lands into the main. 2 probes go down. And the pylons are in peril here. This is a pretty big Artosis pylon. If this goes down, then ShoWTimE has no production and his charge slot upgrade gets delayed. Now these medevacs are just so annoying. These Marines just stim and shoot down the probes. 4 probes down already this game. And now the medevacs try to retreat, but now there's a Phoenix to deal with this. Look at that. But in the front, oh my god, there's just more units coming out from HeRoMaRinE. There's a tank now on the natural. The Robo is being depowered. We have this one Immortal that is trying to deal with the Terran forces, wants to try and hit the tank. Tank gets lifted up by the Phoenix here. Probes come in to fight. Only a couple gateway units left to deal with this Terran force, and it does look like ShoWTimE is hanging in there. He has 3 bases. Look at the worker count, though. It has been decreased for ShoWTimE. 40 workers, but he does have 3 Nexi with Chrono Boost. 16 probes went down. But the forces of HeRoMaRinE have been warded away. Only now the 3rd Command Center starts. 2 more barracks being added on. +1 almost done. I feel like once +1 is done, HeRoMaRinE can just start another assault on the base of ShoWTimE. And ShoWTimE's army is just looking so small. No real power units available anymore. Adding in a second Phoenix really doesn't want to get Doom Drop right now because it's hard to deal with for ShoWTimE. Charge is now almost done, but there's almost no Zealots to take advantage of that charge. Immortal halfway done, and 2 siege tanks starts sieging down the main base. How is ShoWTimE going to be dealing with this? These tanks are a bane. But the Phoenix go around, lift up 1 tank, 2 tank. Only the Stalkers can hit them. They were lifted up. Wow, if you lift them and then let them go, they're unsieged. But now HeRoMaRinE picked them up. Hot pickup with the medevacs, and now 2 siege tanks and a bunch of Marines are in the main. Tasteless Pylon does get sniped down. Charge Zealots go on to these Marines, and the Immortal is here to clean up these siege tanks. So somehow, someway, ShoWTimE holds on and has a nice worker count to boot. But there's another wave coming out of HeRoMaRinE here. 3rd base will be landed soon. And ShoWTimE is having a tough one here on hard lead. Look at the supply. If HeRoMaRinE just runs in there and gets a decent trade, I think he's able to overwhelm the Protoss forces. Other sentries being warped in here. That's 1 force field. Does not really help the Protoss here. And Protoss just doesn't have a lot of units here. Nuclear battery trying to keep alive this hero Immortal. But ShoWTimE calls G a G. And with that combination of pressure, HeRoMaRinE manages to take out ShoWTimE in their first game on hard lead. We're now heading into Oceanborn LC. And we see HeRoMaRinE, well, not particularly hiding his racks, just making sure that the pathing for the Reaper is slightly more optimal. And we see 1 gas, double gas going down, so that's a little tricky. Is he going to go for a fast factory opening here? HeRoMaRinE, what are we looking at? other side of the map, we see ShoWTimE got kind of battered and bruised in that first game. But maybe he can pull it back in the second. Because he was pretty close to holding on there. But at some point he just lost a few too many probes. ShoWTimE did scout everything in HeRoMaRiNE's base, so he knows it's double gas and there is no expansion. ShoWTimE checked once more. Marine is, Reaper is underway. SCV is also underway for a scout. We see a factory opener here. What's this SCV up to? It throws down a bunker, actually. We see HeRoMaRiNE continuously stopping and starting to build this bunker again, because where the SCV is random. So, oh, this is a great position, because if the SCV randomly stays here... Oh my god, it's still there! It just keeps building the bunker. The two probes can't get to it. That's so unfortunate for ShoWTimE that the SCV just refused to move. And the SCV saved himself and now made it very difficult for ShoWTimE to actually... Well, for now it's not a problem, but soon he won't be able to mine from his natural if he doesn't take care of this bunker and one Reaper. Maybe... Well, he has a Stargate, so he might just build a Void Ray to deal with this. Let's see. Starport underway as well. There's a singular Hellion here. There are two Reapers on the map. Both of them are now in the bunker. Oh! Probe does get shut down there. And there is a shield battery here. But ShoWTimE can't really mine. He's still making probes from this Nexus, which I love. Because that, even though he's oversaturating his main for a little bit, once he is able to mine here, he'll be immediately transferring 8+ probes to take care of this bunker. But this bunker's still here. Oh, this Hellion is not getting in. And ShoWTimE is making a Phoenix here, shaded out in Adept as well, delaying the natural of HeRoMaRiNE. Oh, nice body blocks with this Stalker Adept Force. And, well, this seems a little awkward. We see first Cyclone is out. Nuclear battery has been started up, and the probes have been pulled to deal with this bunker pressure. Two probes do go down. The probes are pulled back again. And the bunker is salvaged. One Reaper has been lifted up. HeRoMaRiNE got the scouting that he wanted, and now finally ShoWTimE is able to mine from his natural. Look at that, 14 probes right away. Interesting way of dealing with that. And the Reaper is trying to get back into the main... Oh, nope. Yoink. The Phoenix deny that scout, and here is a little pressure play from HeRoMaRiNE once again. It's 4 Marines and a Cyclone, maybe hoping to catch these Phoenix out on the map. And HeRoMaRiNE does catch them out on the map. Cyclone gets a lock on... Does he actually kill the... Oh my god, he actually killed the Phoenix with the vision of the medevac. That is sick. Robo is done here for ShoWTimE. Second gate underway. And looks to be working towards taking a quick third here. But HeRoMaRiNE doesn't seem to be allowing that right now. He's just rallying units across the map. Second Cyclone is here. There's a Viking here. Bunch of Marines. I don't think there's stim. No, there's no stim. It's just reactor to... Naked Marines. Very interesting. The Cyclone here locks onto these Adept and on the Immortal. Immortal doesn't mind tanking a little bit of that damage onto his hardened shields. Or what's it called? The barrier. Third base does get denied by these Terran units. The probe dies, and now this pylon is dead as well. No stim on these Marines, not even in sight. There's one tank ready to now bottle up ShoWTimE into his natural. And ShoWTimE does have a robotic support base, so probably planning on playing Colossus Phoenix here. Does have a decent Phoenix count already to deal with this tank and these Cyclones. And the Protoss forces do dive onto the Terran forces here, lift up that one siege tank and some of the Cyclones, but do get targeted down by these two Vikings and the other anti-air. But ShoWTimE does manage to chase away these units, needs to keep alive these Phoenix, because otherwise these Vikings will be hard countering your entire army. And the third base does go down for ShoWTimE. Worker count is relatively even. Stalkers move commanded into these Cyclones. Lock-ons were used and broken. +1 is underway. Stim is finally on the table. No third base in sight. Am I right about that? Yes. We see 1, 2, 3, 4 barracks. And HeRoMaRiNE still on 2 base. Oh, it's a big sea creature. Building a turret as well here in the main. Not wanting to waste any scans on anything. Another turret in the natural. Probably fearing a high Phoenix count here. Dropping mules. And we see ShoWTimE is slowly but surely getting up that third base. He's making a Twilight and a Forge, getting ready to transition into more gateway units on top of his Robo and Stargate units. We see one Colossus and some Phoenix flying around. Reminiscent of Game 1, where it's just the Phoenix count never got that high. And a big move out here by HeRoMaRiNE. ShoWTimE moving into position to keep HeRoMaRiNE from crossing up to this ramp, but this is 4 Vikings against 4 Phoenix and the Colossus. You kind of need the Colossus to hold this ramp. But, ooh, 1 Phoenix does go down to these Vikings. Very nice control by HeRoMaRiNE. Force field does come down to make sure that these Marines can't move in. But now, regardless of that force field, the Terran takes this high ground. Cyclone lock-ons get absorbed by the Immortal Barriers once more. Nice positioning by ShoWTimE. This is looking like a pretty difficult force to beat, though. From HeRoMaRiNE, 3 tanks, 2 Cyclones, and Vikings here. Just a super anti-Viking / Colossus force in the front, just snipping away at this Phoenix force. And this looks kind of difficult. As soon as the siege tanks siege up on the third base, ShoWTimE has to decide if he wants to engage or sacrifice the third so he can build up further. The nuclear battery option has been used, but it is only to delay. Now it is down. All shield batteries except for this one have been drained or killed, and ShoWTimE decides to go for it before his third base dies. Lifts up all of the siege tanks. The Colossus get good swipes on the Marines. HeRoMaRiNE's micros back as Marines very well, so that the Colossus were shooting other units than the Marines, and now the bulk of the Protoss force that was tanking for these Colossus have melted away, and only gateway units remain, and, well, there's no Protoss left. And ShoWTimE is forced to GG out by this very well executed attack by HeRoMaRiNE. Kind of an all-in, actually, because HeRoMaRiNE was not getting a third, not getting extra upgrades, not investing in anything else than his unit count. But it definitely worked. 2 times in a row, HeRoMaRiNE just has sharp attacks, and ShoWTimE just barely cannot hang on. Guys, thank you for hanging out. I hope you enjoyed this cast. If there's any sips that I missed or games that you want me to cast in the future, be sure to leave it in the comments below. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Cheers.